So I'm back with part two of installing the snorkel on a Mazda bt50 2011. As long as you get the drill bit right in the center of that cross, and then you drill right around, which I've done this one, and I've done this one, then I do this one, then I do this one, and then I do this one. Now, as long as they all get done, it should look good. So I'll come back in a minute. So this is part 2 or 3, I'm not sure. I've done the holes, and what you see here is it's a really tight. If the screws go in loose, then it's a loose fitting, but it's really tight and snug. It feels like it won't fit, but it does fit. Of course, I've left all the paper on here for the moment because I don't want to scratch the other side of the panels. So what I've done here is I've now screwed out all the holes, and what I want to do now is sand back the holes, and I'm going to try to put a bit of rubber in the actual holes where I've cut out. I'll show you that next step in a minute. It's fitting nice and snug. This is where the bracket will go in on here, and then your snorkel will sit up there. It's looking quite nice and snug, which is good. So I'll come back with the part thing. So it's pretty tight, and it's meant to be tight. It's not meant to be loose. So see, when I'm pulling it back off, you can hear that coming out. The other tip that I would suggest is I bought Loctite. Where is the Loctite? Of course, I bought all my stuff off eBay, and it's easier that way and can be cheaper. So that's the little bit, the touch up with the paint. Let's give me a sec. That's that touch up paint. Here we go. So what I'm saying is I bought this Loctite 274, and you're going to need it because Loctite 272 thread locker. So you're going to need that because all these threads, see, this comes out, and you're not going to need the whole thread inside that hole. So it's going to have some are going to have to be longer, and some are going to have to be shorter. The ones that have to be longer, you use the Loctite 272 on that. But before I do that, I'm going to have to use a file and file down all the edges. And I bought this really handy file set off eBay called Mazda, and it's got all sorts of files in it. So instead of buying one, it's just cheaper to buy more than one. So it's giving us different files. I probably want to use this file, and what I want to do is I just want to file down the edges, make them nice and smooth, take any roughness off them, and you do that from the inside, not the outside. So I'm going to go and do that to all my holes, file them down, so there's no sharpness. But as I said, the hole saw cutter that I used wasn't a hole saw cutter, it was a diamond for aluminium, and I'll tell you what, it is brilliant. So I'm going to file all these down. Then of course eventually I'll take So if I look here, but you can't leave bare still. So I have some touch-up paint that I'm going to touch-up paint all the holes, and what that's going to do, take all the sharpness off it. But I have a rubber that will go around, a rubber seal that will go around this, so that the plastic won't rub on the steel. So I'll leave it there for this part, and I'll come back with part 3 in a minute. And of course I've used all the masking tape. I've mask taped the whole area, then I put this template on, and there's going to be a little bit of a mill, like an inch, not even that. It's going to be a little bit out. But as I said, if it's tight and not loose, it's better to be tight than to be loose, because if this is tight, when you put all these screws, all these bolts into it, then what's going to happen is it's going to be nice and tight and snug. And that's what we want for this. We don't need it to be loose. We need to have a nice tight fit. So I'll come back with you in a minute with the next stage I'm going to do. And the next stage you'll see with all the tape off and all this off. And what I would suggest is, while you're sanding back your hole using a file, while you're filing back your hole and making it less sharp and taking all the sharpness out of it, what I would suggest you do is leave this on here to protect and the tape on. The last thing you do is you take the tape off when you're ready to bolt it on, and you're ready to basically bolt it on. You leave this on here for now, and you do all your painting with this on, so you protect the actual panel. And the reason for that is it protects the panel. So I'm going to come back with the next part of this. I'm very surprised when I cut the hole out for this. I'm very surprised that this diamond cut worked really well. And I'll come back with the next part of this. If you're going to do this, I would recommend to, I've got the bigger one. This is the 13 mil, but I would recommend getting this hole cutter. It's very good, and it does the job very, very good, and it cuts it out very well. So I'm going to leave it there for this part, and I'll come back with the next part in a minute.